Today we're making a tote bag and embellishing it with applique. It's part of How to Quilt, a beginning series from AQS. You can find a link to the written directions down in the description. Let's get started. We're going to start by tracing our appliques. I have a fusible web. I really like this one or one like Heat and Bond Light because it's a light double-sided fusible web. I've got a sheet out already and I have what I'm going to be tracing. This is a pattern that's available on AQS blog, and I've kind of adapted it to just be a cute little daisy for us today. So I'm going to take my fusible. It has paper on both sides, and I'm going to lay it over my design. I'm just tracing it with a pencil. We could try to be really perfect with it, but because we're just kind of putting it on a bag, we can make this daisy look however we want, just really quickly tracing it. And then I know I want a big circle in the middle, and because I don't have one there, I'm just going to move to a clean spot, keeping it over that flower. I'm just going to keep it kind of to the inside of where those points are meeting, so that as I do that, see, it doesn't have to be perfect, we just want it to look really cute. Once we have it all traced, I'm just going to cut out roughly around the shapes. We're going to fuse the applique pieces to our fabric now. To begin, I'm going to take the unmarked piece of paper and peel it off. Got that. Now I've got the marked side and the fusible. I'm going to put the fusible on the wrong side of my fabric. Once I've got it placed, I'm going to bring my hot, dry iron. I'm going to place it. I'm placing downward pressure. I'm not moving side to side, front or back. I'm just placing it. I can do the same thing with this larger piece. Peeling that back. Placing it on the wrong side of my fabric. Got that one positioned like I want. And because it's kind of a larger piece, I'm going to go in two sections. So I've got my first count going. I'm going to lift, just a little bit of an overlap. Do the same thing again. Then on a bigger piece like this, sometimes the holes in the iron don't get all the heat through. So I like to just move it to a different spot on my iron, and there we go, pressed all the way. Once it's all fused, I can go ahead and cut out along my traced line. I'm using a pair of serrated scissors. These are really great for cutting an applique because they grip the fabric. This particular pair is completely sharp to the tip. I just love them. And this is my fusing applique pair of scissors. I only use it for that. So it's actually both fabric and paper scissors in my stash. This flower has two layers. It has this top layer with the little dot and a bottom layer with these petals. So I'm going to go ahead and build that top layer right now by peeling the paper back off of this flower center. Then you can kind of fuss with it, place it just where you want before ironing. Yep, love the look of that. And then I'm going to do just like before, a quick press with a lot of downward motion, but no moving, and then it'll be fused. I've already gotten started on my first piece. I got a few of my appliques done. I've zigzagged down the sides to close that frayed edge, and now I'm ready to put my very last applique on. So I'm going to peel that paper back. I have my fusible side. I'm going to place it down on the right side of my piece of fabric in position where I want. I don't want to put it too far down to either end because they're going to either be handles that get folded over or the bottom of the bag that gets tucked under. So I'm aiming right for that middle area. And once I have it positioned where I want it, I can just set it. Touch all those edges, make sure they're happy, and we're ready to go sew. I have my machine set up with a denim needle. That's going to really help me get through this canvas fabric. If you're working with a lighter weight fabric, any needle around size 80 would work really well. I also have on a satin stitch foot. I like to use this foot because it has an open area and it's clear, so it's really easy to kind of see through and look at everything that's going on with this applique. And finally, I have my machine set to a straight stitch, set at 2.0 millimeters stitch length. I'm going to use my hand wheel to bring my needle down a little bit of less than 1/8 from that edge. I don't want to get too close or too far away. All right, then I'm going to bring my presser foot down. You'll see I have my speed set really slow. I'm also going to set it to needle down. This is going to let me turn, pivot, kind of get around these curves and do it at a speed that I'm really comfortable. I can even kind of turn it as I go. But if I get to any moments where it's getting too near the edge or too far away, that lets me stop, turn it, and keep going around that curve. This takes some time. If you don't want to start on your bag, just get some practice pieces and play with it for a little bit, find a stitch length you like. It's good to just get some practice in before you're ready to play the big leagues. I've gotten to that bottom inner corner, so I've pivoted. It's really tempting on those straight parts to speed up your machine, but I know I'm going to want it to be slow when I get to that curve. So I just practice a little patience, which is definitely the key to applique. It's really fun because you can get it as perfect as you want, or just make it kind of as rustic as you want. That's what happens when we make a mistake. It just becomes rustic. And as we come back to where that applique began, we're just going to go a stitch or two past where we started. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing in the center. I will note that with circles, usually taking about 2 stitches at a time and then turning really helps make it look really smooth. If you're using a Sparrow QE or a machine that has a knee lift, this is a great time to use it. I always do it at home whenever I'm doing machine applique. Now we're ready to make the handles. I've taken my 4-inch strip and I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm going to set that. I'm using canvas fabric, so I'm going to give it a pretty good long press to help set that crease. Once I've creased it, I'm going to open it back up and I'm going to fold the ends, these raw edges, towards the center, leaving a little bit of a gap because when we close it, those will move back towards the center. And so if we press them right to the center, they'd overlap and we don't want that. So I'm going to fold them towards the center and I'm going to press that. If you're having any trouble with that pressing, you can use a little bit of spray starch to get that edge really crisp. So now I'm going to fold it back over itself and I'm going to use just a few wonder clips. Secure those edges. Once I have them all secured, I'm ready to sew. I put coordinating thread in my machine. I'm going to sew about 1/8 of an inch away from that edge that's open because I want to close it first before we sew the other side. And make sure that you don't start right under or right before where your needle is. You can start a little bit in. This is just going to help it feed with this thicker fabric. Turn that speed up a little. Moving that wonder clip as I get to it. Then I can take and just do that down the other side. On my Eversewn QE, this is a really great time to unplug my foot and use the start-stop feature. Now I don't have to use my foot at all. Once we've sewn our handles, we're ready to secure them to the bag. To start, I've put my ruler at 2.5 inches away from that far edge. And I'm going to use that to help guide me as I secure this. So to put your handles on and not get them twisted, you want to lay it right side down. And then you're going to fold your handle up You see that there? So it's right side down, and I fold it up, kind of create a little 45-degree angle there. And then I can bring that right over, butt it right up along the edge of that ruler. And I'm going to come in with my little wonder clip and secure that right there. Do the same thing on the other side. 2.5 inches. There we go. I've got my right side down. I'm going to bring it up and over. And there we go, lined up there. Once I have those secure, I'm ready to zigzag it onto the bag. I have my machine set to zigzag, but I want to get my needle over in that farthest position on the zigzag. So to do that, I got hold of my threads. This is so I won't create any knots as I do this. I'm bringing my needle down with my hand wheel. It's going to jump right over. Then I'm going to pull on the thread. Might have to wiggle the needle a little. This will get that loop that's down there to pull out. Then I'm not created a knot. Bring my threads back over there. Got the fabric under the machine. I'm going to start bringing that needle down, and it's going to come in just a couple threads from the edge. Once I've got that down, I can lower my presser foot, and I'm ready to start sewing. As I get to that first handle, I brought my needle down into the fabric. I'm going to remove that clip, and it's a little bit of a bulky seam, so I'm just going to take it nice and slow, make sure everything gets under that foot okay and doesn't get moved around. See, it's gotten stuck a little, so I'm just going to raise that presser foot. Don't try to go through this part fast. Your machine will not thank you. Just take your time with it. There we go. Through that really thick part. Got an easy bit of stitching here. I'm just going to let it speed up a little bit. As I get to that end, I'm just going to sew right off it. That's going to completely finish our sides. And as you can see, I've already done that around all 3 sides. It's the exact same as what we just did. Now we're going to finish up our bag panels. To do this, I've got my wrong side, and then I've taken my ruler and I've taken that top edge, put it on my 1.5 inch mark. And I'm just going to push that up till it's even to that edge. So I've got the bag folded over at the handle side, 1.5 inches. I'm going to secure that. Do one there. I like to go ahead and do a little pin there, right where the handles are. And right out here at the edge. And then we're ready to sew. My machine is set to straight stitch once again, and I'm going to sew right above where those zigzags are at the handles. So let's start. Once we sew that bottom edge, we're going to press a crease across the top and top stitch through the top of it. Once you've got the top edges all finished, you're ready to put your two panels right sides together. And just use a few clips to secure it. You can also use pins, but I really like the way that the clips don't warp any of the material, especially with this thicker fabric. Once you have it all clipped, we're going to go and sew around three sides of our bag, leaving that opening open, of course. And you're going to sew about 1/4 inch or just to the tops of where that zigzag is in your bag. So let's get to sewing. I'm starting at the top of the bag, and I have my foot so that the needle's going to come down about 1 inch into the bag already. This is easier for my machine to start at, but then I'm going to back stitch over the top of the bag again and then sew right through. This gives me 2 lines of stitching to really secure that top. And like I said, it's easier for the machine at this thicker part of the bag. As I get down to corners, I'm just going to sew right through them and then turn. Same thing up here at this top edge. I'm going to get to that top and back stitch down. And I'm going to take it out. Now I'm ready to do the corners. We're going to create squared off corners, and to do this we actually make a triangle. So I've got the bottom ends of my bag and I'm going to pull on either side and create a little triangle point up here for myself. I'm going to be able to feel, might take some wrangling, going to be able to feel where those 2 seams are, one over here, one on this side, and I can actually kind of lock them by pointing them in different directions. I'm going to get them nice and nested. There we go. Create a nice bit of peak for myself. And I like to just clip kind of far down over here just to hold it while I mark. And then I bring my ruler in, and 2 inches, I'm going to mark at that exact point down that seam from where it's sewn. Not up here where that's up in the seam allowance, but from where those 2 seam allowances actually meet. I've measured 2 inches, and I'm going to draw a line that intersects all that. So I'm marking that. All right, and because I've already clipped it, I'm just going to go sew across that line. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other corner. This is another spot in the bag where it's easier to start 1/2 inch to 1 inch to the inside of the seam, go back to the edge, and then through the whole thing. So I'm going to start there, back stitch, and sew back through, right on that marked line. Do a little back stitch again just to secure it. And I'm all good. Push your little box edges. And voila. And you did it. You made an applique tote bag. Congratulations. If you'd like to share what you've made or ask any questions, join our How to Quilt Facebook page. There's a link down in the description. And as always, thanks for watching.